What's up, everybody? This is Suresh from Mind is a Monkey coming at you guys with another episode of Let's Check Out Some Diecast. Well, it's almost the end of the year, so I thought it would be like a appropriate finish to cover the last mix of Hot Wheels Boulevards for 2025. So this is mix 5, and it's a pretty interesting set. Three brand new castings, and two castings that we have seen earlier in Real Riders, but almost all of them making their debut appearance in Boulevards, right? So a very interesting mix. I was able to score these locally thanks to my friend Jordan Bilgo. We've got a Ford GT, we've got a Nissan Laurel C33, a 75 Ford Bronco, a Lamborghini Temerario, and a Ford RS200. I'm very excited about this set. And 2026 Mix 1 has already started showing up at Walmarts. So, it's pretty cool. I think Hot Wheels has really stepped up their game with regards to the distribution because, there was a time when scoring these boulevards at your local Walmarts used to be a huge struggle. But, I am very happy to say that in 2025, I've been able to score every set of boulevards without any issues. So I think Mattel did a really good job in ensuring that their Walmart exclusive distribution stayed good throughout the year. So that's a shout out to Mattel and to Walmart, right? So without further delay, let's dive right into the set. Our first model for today is this stunning Ford GT in black and yellow. Let's open it up. Now, originally released as the Ford GT LM, as you can see at the base of this casting, right? So Ford GT LM, for some reason, this is now simply being marketed as Ford GT. This is one of my top favorite castings, right? So now this casting has seen a variety of releases, right? So main lines, speed machines, treasure hunts, mystery cars, cool classics, Gulf Deco, even a Zamac in that Gulf Deco, right? So, and it was part of the Gran Turismo sets, multi-packs, neon speeders. You get the idea, right? So I'm pumped to see that this has been a casting that has been live throughout the years, right? And now it's making its debut appearance in the Boulevards line. So it has got Ford GT lettering on the side of the body there, and a Ford logo there, and details, nice details on the headlights, and a pretty cool spoiler, right? So now, I know we may have seen this in some other video in the past, possibly a mainline video. So this is LM, right? So the LM stands for Le Mans. Basically, this is the model that kind of like bagged the 24 hours of Le Mans racing, right? So I think this is the one that gave Ford a huge advantage over Ferrari. So, and we all know that story made more popular by the recent Ford versus Ferrari film, right? So it's looking awesome in this black and yellow, which is always a beautiful paint scheme for some reason, especially on race cars, right? So excellent choice of wheels. Not a lot of kind of like sponsors, labels, or something like that. But it looks stunning, and I'm super pumped that I've got one more casting to add to my set of Ford GT LM cars. All right, so that's our first model for today, the Ford GT LM. Let's set it right there. Our second model for today at 137 is the Nissan Laurel C33, right? So check out the card art. It has HWC33 for a tailplate. Let's open it and check it out. Now, Nissan Laurel, right? Now, that may kind of like, ring a bell because Hot Wheels has another version of the Nissan Laurel. The 2000 SGX that we have seen in Japan Historics 2, Gulf Car Culture, Maylin, and even in Boulevard, right? So that's the Nissan Laurel 2000 SGX, but this is a brand new casting, right? And as we already saw in the card art, it has a HWC 33 It looks like a California license plate, but I'm not able to figure out that lettering. And check this out, it's actually got a lot of pretty cool details, right? So you can see that it has got a tow hook, and the exhaust is in a heart shape, right? So Nissan Laurel, right? So that lettering right there, and so I think that's pretty cool. It's got a heart shaped exhaust, all right. So I think there's possibly like a basic factory kind of like a paint scheme, right? Nice choice of wheels. Even though it looks very plastic, it definitely kind of like brings a nice sense of contrast to the otherwise monotonous paint scheme. And check out the window panes, right? So you see it at a certain angle. Now, I don't know if this is just the rear half and the front half is all rolled down, or if it's going to be like a single glass. I don't exactly know how it was in the original vehicle. So if you guys know any details about that, please enlighten me in the comments. All right. So there we have a brand new casting, the Nissan Laurel C33. All right. Let's set it right there. And our third model for today is another brand new casting for Hot Wheels Premium Series. At 138 is the 75 Ford Bronco, right? So let's open it up. All right. It's got a pretty nice front grille, and it's got even a tail plate that says Hot Wheels 75 Bronc. That stands for the car, the name of the car. And it's got a Bronco, beautiful lettering there, and a pretty cool choice of paint. I learned that this is a very specific kind of a paint. It's called Pearl Glen Green, right? But when I actually looked up the color, it was like, a tad different than this. So I'm thinking Pearl Glen Green might be, kind of like a range of colors which have this kind of a hue, right? And the fun thing about this car, oh yeah, the tailplate at the rear also has a 75 Bronc. Okay, so circling back to what I said, the fun part about this car is that this is removable, right? So now it's like a convertible, right? It's an open top, and it's a pretty. Find that very curious, right? So it's nice. So, and for show and tell, I brought along a 1970 Ford Bronco, but this one is by Matchbox, right? But when I kind of like put them side by side, they looked very similar to me, right? Especially the contours and all that. So I guess between 70 and 75, the overall contours of the vehicle did not change that much. And pretty much both of them have done a pretty good job. And we need to keep in mind that this is actually like the main line line of cars, while this is a much more premium line of cars, right? And at that scale, they've got the Ford on the grill, but I'm not sure if that was. Oh yeah, even they have a Ford. It's just with the black and the green paint. That the red is kind of like pretty downplayed. So I think that is why it was not very obvious, but it also has a Ford lettering on the grill. All right. So all in all, very beautiful casting. I am pumped to see if this will make reappearances in other colors, possibly referring back to those colors that were released from the factory in other set of premiums in the coming years. All right. So there we have our third model for the day, the 1975 Ford Bronco. All right. Our fourth model for today, the third brand new casting. See, that is what I really like among the Hot Wheels premiums, right? So we are not merely seeing recolors of existing castings, but they are really keeping it fresh and bringing out a lot of new castings. And that is always a welcome sign. So at 139 is the Lamborghini Temerario, right? And for that's a beautiful card art, and it's got a fun Temerario for a license plate, and if you notice, it's also got the Italian colors right below that lettering, right? Okay, so let's open this and check it out. Wow, wow. So That's another brand new casting in this mix, you guys. All right. So a Lamborghini Temerario. Okay, so minor difference. The license plate does not contain the Italian color scheme like we saw in the card art, but I guess that's okay. So I think that is possibly should have been challenging at that scale. But then we have the Lamborghini Temerario for lettering, and this Temerario is not that clear. Maybe they could have put a sticker or something like that, but it's pretty smudged and doesn't get a 10 on 10 for legibility, you know. But I learned that this particular model, the Lamborghini Temerario, is actually the successor to Lamborghini Huracan. And another fun fact about this car is that it's actually a hybrid, right? So capable of reaching really insane speeds. And this color, again, right? So just like how we saw that the 75 Ford Bronco is a pearl Glen green, this color is a very specific color. It's called Verde Mercurius, which is actually Latin for green mercury, right? Such a dope name. So I was very curious. I wanted to find out if there was a real world car with that paint scheme. And when I googled it up, it was nothing short of a metallic green, right? Let's say somebody added like a green color to mercury and painted the car with it. That was literally how this color looked. But I mean, when in a Hot Wheels execution, that would mean that this would have had to be a Spectra Flame color, right? But at this price point, obviously they're not going to be able to give us a Spectra Flame paint, but very very cool color and such a fun fact that I learned about this car and the color, right? So again, excellent choice of wheels. I think this is the first time we are seeing this wheels in this series, right? As you can see, the Ford GT LM and the Nissan Laurel C33 share the same kind of wheels. I think that's the classic 5-spoke wheels. And this is, I wouldn't say very off-roadish, but, kind of this one's more of a 6-spoke wheel, right? And so this is the first time we are seeing this 10-spoke wheel in this assortment of Boulevards, right? So there we have the Lamborghini Temerario, all right? So beautiful add to the Lamborghini family, all right? So, and as you can see, it's also the engine, I think in the last moving parts, we opened up a Lamborghini and we saw how the engine in Lamborghinis are traditionally placed in the rear and giving it the LP designation, right? So a very beautiful execution all in all. All right, let's set it right there. Our last model for the day, not a brand new casting for Boulevards or Premium, but we have seen this guy come around the block a few times in this premium treatment. At 140, Ford RS 200, right? Our memories of this casting being the 2025 Q-Case Super sporting a Spectra Flame Gulf livery are still very fresh, right? So now we have seen this car in car culture, both the individual ones, the team transport ones, and a diorama set. And I mean, fun fact, this car has also been released as an ID car. Now that was something that I did not know prior to kind of like doing my homework for this video, right? So, and this one has also been released by Period Correct as one of their seasonal exclusives, right? I think that was the year they had two of those cars, and this was one of them, right? So now for logos, now for decos, it has Michelin and Mall from London and Bilstein. So I think this is possibly it's got a nice Ford RS 200 lettering there and the Hot Wheels logo. I think with regards to labels, right, with regards to deco, this is the only casting in the mix that has kind of like some licensed decos, right? So as you can see, Bilstein, Michelin, Mall from London, and stuff like that, right? So again, a nice choice of wheels. This one, we have seen this being used on Lamborghini Countach RLC models, right? So pretty nice set of wheels. For some reason, it really looks cool. And the fact that that white hub color is continuous with these white stripes that we see on the hood. I think that's adding a certain nice effect to the overall paint job. So there we have the fifth model in the final mix of Hot Wheels Boulevards for 2025. Let me bring them a little closer to the camera. And so with regards to my top three, it would definitely, my first one would definitely be the Lamborghini. And my second one would be the Ford GT. For some reason, I'm like super prejudiced to those models, right? And my third one would be the 75 Ford Bronco, especially for that, shiny finish and the removable part, right? So very cool set of cars. I hope that 2026 Hot Wheels Boulevards continues bringing a lot of interesting models and keeping it fresh for collectors. And I also want to take this moment to wish all the viewers a very happy and wonderful new year 2026. Hoping to improve the quality of my videos. So as I've said many times in the past, always looking for feedback. I always try to keep things interesting with all these fun facts that I try to bring to the video. So thank you so much for all the love and support that you have shown to me in 2025. Hoping it continues and it reaches greater heights in 2026. So till I meet you guys next time with another fun video, this is Suresh signing off. Rock on and stay awesome. Bye everyone.